My name is Kurt Harris, and I'm an attorney, and I want to discuss child support with you and how child support is calculated. I practice in the states of Nevada and Utah. My information is general that I'm granting here today, but is predicated for the most part on those states. The amounts of child support is set by code or by statute dependent upon your jurisdiction. In Nevada, child support is specifically calculated based on your gross income, not your net. So the child support's amounts could be significantly higher than what you perceive based upon your gross income. They do not take into consideration any offsets, particularly with regard to the taxes that you pay or any other amounts that are taken out of your check. They look at the gross income. For one child, it's 16% gross income. For two, it's 22%, and for three, it's 25%, and so on and so forth. That is calculated off the top based upon your gross income. And so, if you have, for instance, if you were earning $100 per month, it would be $16, which you'd be obligated to pay in child support, just for an easy type of calculation. Obviously, you earn more than that, and the math needs to be done, but the math is relatively simple to calculate. I get the question many times, but I have my child half of the time, or I have my child 40% of the time in the state of Nevada, which is the threshold for joint physical custody, or in fact, I've got my child 60% of the time if you calculate it. Do I still have to pay? Absolutely. It depends upon the earning or the income of mom in that particular case. So if mom earns $100 per month in our scenario, and you earn $100 per month, and both earn, and we multiply that by 16%, then neither would pay anything. However, when there is a disparity of income, we offset the lower number from the larger number. And what do I mean by that? If we calculate 16% of dad's income and we calculate 16% of mom's income, we would subtract the little from the big. So the larger would pay the smaller, whatever the difference is between those two calculations. And so in fact, dad could be paying a substantial amount of money despite the fact that he has the children 60% of the time. The mere fact that you have joint custody of your child does not negate the child support obligation. It's an offset. In the states of Utah and many other states, they have worksheets that provide those calculations. They may be a little more complicated than the Nevada formula, but those worksheets are there. And once you fill those out, they come up with a number that one side needs to pay the other. Generally, and almost always, it is the party that earns the higher amount that will be paying, despite the fact that you may have joint custody and you may have your children at least half of the time, and sometimes perhaps even more. I hope this clears up some misconceptions about whether or not you have to pay child support when you have joint custody. It does not relieve you the obligation under the statute to pay that. In Nevada, we have a case called Wright versus Osborne, which mandates that the higher earning party will have to pay the lesser earning party. And that goes both ways, depending upon who is the greater income earner, and it is blind to gender. And so oftentimes mom could potentially be paying dad that child support calculation. I hope this sheds a little bit of light on any misconceptions or any questions you may have about child support obligations in the state of Nevada. Thank you very much for your time. This is Kurt Harris, and I look forward to speaking in the future on additional topics in family law. Thank you.